Hello, Hannah. Are you still awake? I guess you've probably fallen asleep already. I know you're in a dark place right now. I bet that you're mentally scarred after getting divorced so recently. You probably spent all day in bed, right?
Good morning, Kate. I didn't expect to get a message from you so early in the morning. I don't really get what you're saying to me. Is this about what I posted on my Instagram?
Yeah, I read your most recent post and thought I should message you. I made sure to like your post, by the way. I was really surprised to see that you had announced your divorce on Instagram.
Yeah, I guess most people wouldn't make that kind of announcement on Instagram. I thought about it a little before posting it because I knew it would be on the internet forever. My account is private and I know everybody that follows me, so I decided it would be okay. I thought it would save me having to tell everyone about my divorce one by one.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. All your friends know about your divorce now. I guess it would be pretty depressing having to talk about your divorce over and over to all of your friends.
Exactly. I didn't think I would be strong enough to do that. That's when I realized posting on Instagram would be the easiest solution. Now all my friends know about my divorce and I won't have to explain it over and over.
I see. That all makes sense now. I respect you for being strong enough to do that. I'm really glad that I was able to find out about your divorce so quickly. Thank you so much.
Why are you thanking me? I'm a little confused. I didn't do anything to be thanked for, did I?
Actually, you did something very important for me. I've actually been keeping a secret from you, and I think I can almost tell you about it.
I really have no idea what you're talking about. Would you tell me what this secret is?
Actually, I have no time to be talking around with you anymore. There's so much that I need to get done now. I need to hurry up and take action before it's too late. Thank you so much for getting divorced.
Take action? What in the world are you talking about? I'm completely lost. Just tell me what's going on.
This has nothing to do with you right now, so you don't need to worry. I'll tell you about it if it becomes relevant to you at some point. I don't have the time to be explaining it all to you right now.
Okay. I guess I'll be waiting for you to contact me?
I'm going to be really busy from now on. There's so many things that I've got to do. Once I have everything ready and prepared, I'll contact you with the details.
What details? Just tell me what's happening.
Sorry, no time to talk now. Goodbye. Hello, Hannah. Hope you're doing better now.
I'm doing completely fine. What's the matter this time? Can you just hurry up and explain what's happening to me?
Open up Instagram and check my latest post. Make sure you leave a like.
Your latest Instagram post. Okay. Hold on a minute. Wait, what? Are you serious? You got a divorce as well?
Yeah, I did. Are you surprised? I managed to get divorced from my husband earlier this morning.
He was really surprised when I told him I wanted a divorce. Wait, what? You also got married again?
I'm glad you read the important part of my post. I finally managed to get married to the man that I really love. I'm so happy that I managed to get together with the person that I was destined for.
So, the reason that you got divorced was because there was another guy that you fell in love with?
Yeah, pretty much. It was terrible being married to someone that I didn't love. I wanted to get a divorce with him for such a long time now.
You wrote in your post that you also gave all the parental rights for your child to your ex-husband?
Yeah, I had to do that so that he wouldn't sue me. I wanted to keep my parental rights, but he told me he wouldn't sue me if I didn't keep my parental rights. It's much more important that I don't have to pay him any settlement fees. I gave him full custody so he'd agree, and got divorced with him.
So that's why you wrote that you no longer have a child on your Instagram. I'm surprised he was kind enough not to sue you.
Kind? Are you serious? I can't believe that he tried to sue me for having an affair. I didn't even do anything that bad.
You had an affair? I'm sorry to say this, but I kind of agree with your ex-husband. You're the one in the wrong.
Yeah, whatever. I really don't care about it anymore. Now that I think about it, I don't really care about losing my parental rights either. I don't want to have to raise a child that's related to my ex-husband. I really hate him now. I probably would have given him the parental rights no matter what.
I'm sorry to say this, but I think that you're definitely in the wrong about this. You really need to apologize to your ex-husband. What would Dan think if he found out you said all of this?
I can't believe that you're taking his side. If anything, I should be the one suing him. He caused me so much emotional stress over this divorce. I thought that you sued your husband when you guys got divorced. The woman is always the one receiving the money, right?
Not always. In my case, I had a valid reason to sue him and ask for money.
So I should also ask for some money from my ex-husband, right?
That's not what I'm trying to say. You can only sue someone if they do something wrong or cause damage to you or your property. You can't just sue your husband for money because you're a woman. That's not how it works.
I completely forgot to tell my parents about my divorce. I was meant to do that before I texted you. I think I'm going to be really busy for the next few days, so I won't be able to reply to any of your texts. Make sure you get all your preparations done within the next few days.
Wait, what are you talking about? What preparations? I really have no idea what this is about.
Sorry, gotta go now. Goodbye!
Hey, Hannah. Look who it is! It's the man that cheated on me! Oh, wait. You're also my ex-husband. I completely forgot. What the hell do you want from me? I'm really sorry about everything. I had no intention of ever contacting you again, but something came up. It's an emergency, and you were the only person that I could ask. Do you have some time right now? Fine. Make it quick. Thanks so much. You had a friend called Kate, right? Yeah, I do have a friend called Kate. Why does that matter to you? Well, I'm not really sure how to say this. What is it? Just tell me. She suddenly turned up at my parents' house and introduced herself to them as my new wife. What? I can't believe it! What is wrong with you? I can't believe you would cheat on me with one of my friends! No, it's not like that. I'm really telling the truth this time. My dad had the same reaction as you when he called me about it. He was furious at me and demanded an explanation. There's really nothing for me to explain. I don't even have her number. I'm just as confused as you guys are about this. Are you really telling the truth? I am. I swear. I've only met her a couple of times when I went to pick up Lacey from preschool. The only thing that I know about her is her name and that her kid's name is Dan. That's really it. In fact, I only found out about her name after she visited my parents. Do you know any idea about what's going on? I guess you really are telling the truth. You're her friend, right? Surely you know why she's doing this. I just remembered that she told me that she got divorced from her husband so that she could get married to the person that she really loved. That was yesterday, I think. I guess the person that she really loved is you? You were the one she was having an affair with? That is definitely not true. Please, believe me. This is a nightmare. The only person that I love is Emma. I am not going to be unfaithful to her. Yeah, whatever. Just hearing her name makes me furious. Why are you still furious? I've paid you back for all of that. You sued me, and I paid the money that you and your lawyer demanded. I didn't have an affair with this woman called Kate, all right? You better not try to take even more money from me. I don't have any savings left thanks to you. I bet you were messaging me to tell me this. How pathetic. Don't worry about it. I won't see you again if you're telling the truth. I've already got my revenge for you having an affair with Emma. Okay, good. You better not go back on your words. I won't. Don't worry about it. Are you really sure about it? Like 100% sure? Yes! I already said yes! Don't make me even more angry at you. Now leave me alone!
Hey, Hannah. What's taking you so long? I really need you to start acting pretty soon. Otherwise, I'm going to be in some trouble. I've been giving you a lot of extra time because you're one of my friends. I'm starting to lose my patience now. I will get angry if you're going to keep delaying this.
What in the world are you talking about?
I'm going to bring all my belongings to that house later today, so make sure there's space for me to leave all the boxes. We're going to start moving in pretty soon.
What do you mean by that house? What house are you talking about?
Stop trying to act like you don't know. I'm talking about the huge house that you and your ex-husband Sam used to live in.
I still don't get what you're talking about.
I really do understand why you're acting like you don't know what's going on. Even I wouldn't want to lose such a nice house like that. Still, you need to own up to your mistakes and leave the house. You got divorced with him, so you have no right living there anymore.
I have no right to live here?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Make sure you move out of that house by the end of the day.
You really are insane, Kate.
If you don't move out by the end of the day, I'm going to have to punish you. I'm going to make you pay me the $30,000 settlement that he paid you in settlement fees.
Wait, what? Where did you get the number 30,000 from?
I heard that around $30,000 is the max amount paid when people get sued for having an affair. I know that he's really rich, so I thought that you would have received around $30,000 in settlement fees.
So that's how you came up with $30,000.
That house that you're living in belongs to him as well. I'm going to start living there with him, so you need to get out. Hurry up and leave. I'm starting to get really impatient.
Do you really want my house and my ex-husband that badly?
You're going to give me both, right? In fact, you guys are already divorced. He's already mine. You better not try to take him back from me. The house is mine too, by the way. I really don't understand why he allowed you to keep living there even after the divorce.
I'm sorry to say this to you, but there's some things that I need to tell you.
What is it?
I think that there's been some misunderstandings. The huge house that you keep on trying to claim is my parents' house.
What are you talking about? That can't be true.
Actually, it is true. My parents gave it to me in their will when they passed away.
I can't believe it.
When we got divorced, he was the one that had to move out because this house is my property. He gathered up all his belongings and left on the day that we got divorced. I heard that he's temporarily moved in with the woman that he had an affair with. They're living together in a tiny apartment room.
What tiny apartment room? I don't live in an apartment room at all. I literally just moved out of the high-rise condo that I used to live in with my ex-husband.
So that means...
Sam should have told me if he rented out an apartment room to live in with me.
Do you really not get what's happening?
I can't believe that huge house wasn't his property. I thought that I would be able to live there. I've got to complain to him about this later today.
I think it's time you accept the reality. This is just getting sad now.
What are you talking about? I can't believe he made such a huge mistake already. We only just got married. I wish we could have got off to a better start.
I'm sorry to tell you this, but the person that he's in love with isn't you. It's another woman. Her name's Emma.
Wait, what did you just say?
I can't really tell you the details about it, but he's dating someone else. He fell in love with a university student. She's the only person that he loves right now, apparently.
A university student? You're not serious, right? This isn't even funny.
I'm dead serious. She's the reason that I decided to get a divorce with him. He cheated on me with her and also managed to get her pregnant. Her becoming pregnant with his child was the final straw for me. I just couldn't forgive him for that.
Wait, what? He got her pregnant?
I think that they got engaged a few days ago. I guess that they didn't really have a choice as she wants to give birth to the child.
This can't be true. I'm the one that got married to him. The person that he should love is me. You're just lying to try to make me feel bad.
Why would I even do that? I heard that you visited his parents' house and introduced yourself to them as his new wife.
How do you know about that?
He contacted me the other day about it. He thought that I would know more about it because me and you are friends. I was really surprised to receive a text from him like that. He was saying that he only loved one person. Unfortunately, the person he was talking about wasn't you.
What is wrong with him? That means that he cheated on me. I can't believe that he didn't think of me seriously. I sacrificed so much so that I could be with him. I got divorced with my husband and gave up custody of Dan. I did absolutely everything for him. I can't believe that he didn't think the same way about me.
I don't really know if it's appropriate to ask you this, but did you even have an affair with him at all?
Are you seriously asking me that? Of course I am. That's why I turned my whole life upside down to be with him.
Well, when I was talking to him, he told me that he barely even knew you. The only time he saw you is when he went to pick up Lacey from preschool. He also told me that you guys don't even have each other's numbers. Are you really sure that you both feel the same way about each other?
I'm absolutely sure. We only met a couple of times, but there was a real connection between us. We're definitely destined for each other. I'm not going to let some random university student get in the way of our love.
I think that there's been some misunderstanding between you guys.
I know that I'm right. Every time we made eye contact, I felt a deep connection between us. I could feel him being deeply attracted to me.
You really are crazy, aren't you?
How dare you say that to me? When he got divorced with you, I knew it was a secret message to me. He wanted to get married to me, and that's why he got divorced from you. He made such a bold decision for me. I knew I had to do the same, and that's why I got a divorce as well. I can't believe that he had another woman. What in the world is going on?
I think you just made some wild assumptions that didn't end up being true. He never loved or even thought about you a single bit when we got divorced. It's not like I'm on his side or anything, but I think that you're the one in the wrong about this. I actually hired an agent to help me gather evidence of him having an affair. None of the evidence that I received had anything about you at all.
Are you really sure? Maybe your agent just didn't do a very good job.
Actually, he did a very good job. He got me so much evidence of him cheating on me. Either way, I think that you should just give up on him. He's already gotten engaged to the woman that he got pregnant. I doubt that he's going to leave her for you. It feels weird for me to say this, but I think he's really in love with her. There's no way that you can win him back.
What am I going to do now? My life is ruined. I got divorced so that I could be with him. I abandoned my parental rights because I thought that I could have another child with him. My parents were furious with what I did, and they both cut ties with me completely. The huge house that I thought I would be living in was actually your property. Now I'm completely alone and have nothing left. I don't even have a place to sleep. Would you please let me live at your place until I find a new place to live? We're friends, right?
Yeah, about that. I decided to rent that house out to a family. Make sure that you don't intrude, okay? I'm not living there anymore.
Wait, what? You rented it out?
Yeah, I signed a contract with them already. They told me that they would move in later this week. Don't you dare step foot into that house without their permission. You guys are complete strangers to each other.
Where are you living then? Did you find another place nearby?
Not nearby. I took my children with me and moved to the countryside near my grandparents. I don't live anywhere near you now.
Wait, so you moved out of the city?
Yeah, I'm very far away now. I didn't really want to raise my children in the city. I thought it would be better for all of us if I raised them in the countryside with some help. I think I've got to get going soon. I'm taking my grandparents and children on a short vacation to the beach. I'm going to be the one driving the car, so I won't be able to reply to you anymore. Best of luck finding a place to live. I'm not going to help you in any way.
Wait, you can't just abandon me like this. We're best friends. Where am I meant to even go? I really have no one that I can depend on.
That's for you to figure out. I'm going now. Goodbye. Kate had nowhere to go, so she decided to go back to her ex-husband's condo. However, when she arrived, no one was home. In fact, all the rooms were completely empty. Her ex-husband had taken their children and moved somewhere else. She couldn't contact him anymore, so she gave up. The next place that she decided to go was Sam and his new wife's apartment room. As soon as the door to the apartment opened, she barged into their room and started shouting. She demanded that he get married to her instead and kept on shouting at the newly married couple. This continued for about an hour until the neighbors called the police. She was escorted out of the apartment room by some police and got taken to the police station. I have no idea why, but she called me to explain her innocence to the police. I told the police that I had no idea what she was talking about and hung up. I blocked her contact number and all of her social media profiles so that I would never have to interact with her again. I'm thinking of changing my phone number as well, just to be safe. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and pressing the like button.
Hello, this is Kim. We just met. After this, you don't have to worry because John will be safe in my hands. When you get the chance, please hurry up and sign those divorce papers. And don't forget to leave his house within a week for me.
Do you even know what you have caused to happen?
I know exactly what I've done. I helped you out by taking your husband away from your non-deserving hands.
You helped me?
Yeah, I took him away from an old lady like you. I did it because I thought it would be just heartbreaking for John to have to waste the rest of his life with an older woman.
So it's true then. He's been cheating on me? Talking directly to the person whose husband you have been secretly dating is pretty daring of you. I hope you realize what kind of trouble you'll have gotten yourself into.
I am a very daring girl. But the feeling of having to share him with a good-for-nothing old lady has gotten old. So I just thought it'd be best if I just confessed directly to you and asked that you please divorce him. Isn't it best for me and you that I deliberately let you know about all this?
You're asking me to sign a divorce paper with my husband, and then gather all of my things and just leave my house? Within a week?
The apartment that I have been staying at for quite some time, well, it will need to have its lease renewed starting next month. So I plan on moving in with John instead. But that requires me to leave this place before the end of the month, okay?
Sounds like a you problem, not a me problem.
Right. But I bet if I let him know about how my lease is expiring soon, he will be more than happy to let me move in. And I know it will all work out for me, because for a while now, he has been feeling out of touch with you, and has said that he is willing to divorce you and marry someone as young and beautiful as me.
Him immediately getting a girlfriend, and then stating that he wants to marry her? All while asking me to leave the house and get divorced is such a scumbag move.
But the place that you two are living in is under lease by John, right? I bet you haven't even paid a dime for it yet. That means that he can choose who lives with him. And you have no say in the matter. Ha!
Of course, when we chose which home to rent, the papers were signed under his name, but...
If you have the time to sit here and talk on and on, why not use it to start collecting your things? This whole time, you have thoroughly been feeding on all of John's wealth as a housewife. But don't you think you've gotten fat enough?
John's wealth?
He is a doctor, after all, so I can understand the want to cling to him. But do you understand that it would be a great change of pace for him if you weren't a part of his life? It'd be better for him to have a rude old lady like you out of his sight. After all, once you and him have separated, I can just see us having an amazingly romantic wedding. And you won't have the chance to hold on to him any longer. So, with all I've said today, you should be able to understand my point, right?
I get it. Just like you said, I have been making quite the show of how much I cling to him and his money.
Right! So, don't forget to leave his house within a week, please. The quicker you get to divorcing him and leaving, the earlier I can get to marrying him. And while we're in the heat of the moment, we can start to make some children And then I'll be able to get my hands on that sweet reward money.
What do you mean by reward money?
You have been pretty thick-headed from the start by not noticing John and I having a secret relationship. But you will really be surprised with how your mother-in-law has been involved in this.
My mother-in-law?
You really haven't noticed how this all started? She is upset by the fact that you have not been able to carry a child for John yet. Actually, she was the one to set our relationship up. And she didn't mind the fact that he would be cheating on you.
Seriously? My mother-in-law? She allowed this all to happen.
She was the one who first introduced me to John. Then she did all sorts of things to make sure that our secret relationship went unnoticed by you. Didn't you realize that he would frequently go on trips with just his mom? Or that he'd return back to his parents' house alone at times? All of that has been going on for over a year now, right?
Of course. There were times where he said he needed to return home to take care of his mom that was supposedly sick. There was also a trip that he took with his parents to celebrate their wedding anniversary. Now that I think about it, though, he was out of the house quite often. And anytime I'd ask if I should go along with him, he'd say it wasn't necessary. I can't believe it was all a lie.
Congrats! It was indeed all a huge lie. We were really going on dates and vacations together.
But I really cannot grasp the fact that my mother-in-law was the one to put all this together. And she was the one that started John's affair by introducing you to him?
I was working part-time at a cafe that she'd normally visit on weekdays. There, she asked me if I would want to become her son's new wife, and then have some children with him. And if I could do all of that, I'd receive a special bonus reward of $80,000 from her.
She will give you $80,000?
I was a little hesitant at first, but once I had met John in person, he ended up being way more handsome than I'd first imagined. And to add to that, he wasn't as old as I was thinking he'd be, so I thought I might as well go for it.
You're saying that you destroy our marriage because of that ridiculous offer?
If you're going to have a grudge against me, please blame yourself for making your mother-in-law ask me something as crazy as this. With that, I'll be waiting for you to hand in your divorce forms. And after that, like I said before, please hurry up and get out of our way. Our house is just for John and I to enjoy now.
Roberta! Did you really ask a girl named Kim to marry John and have a child with him? Even going as far as to help keep their love life hidden from me? Why are you asking me this all out of the blue? You've already finished handing in those divorce papers, right? I haven't gotten around to that yet, but I just heard from John's new fiancée, Kim, that you're the one that set up their relationship. I already know that John is in the wrong for cheating on me. But above that, you started all of this by asking some random girl to marry him. And then helping them keep it a secret is absolutely unforgivable. What? You're the one that has been causing problems for both John and I. Is that because you think I can't have children? Isn't that obvious? You should understand that John has superior genetics compared to most people. He's a very intelligent and wealthy doctor, after all. Having amazing children is a great duty of his. And yours. But even after quite some time had passed since you guys married, I still don't see any sign of you two having any children. Even if we haven't spoken about having any kids, finding a girl to steal him from me, marry him, and then make babies with him is insane! Your whole train of thought is just crazy. A wife that has no plans to give birth to any children, especially with someone as remarkable as my son, has no importance remaining in the family. You're already starting to show signs of your age, causing your value as a wife and a mother to drop rapidly. So since you'll only be getting older, it's best for us to toss you aside and let him be with someone more young and fertile. Toss me aside? You are starting to understand me now, correct? There is no real use for you anymore. Therefore, you're better off signing the divorce papers sooner rather than later. Then you can finally leave my son's place. And then from there, Kim can start to live with him and make a family. With any luck, she's already pregnant.
I will not give in to this sort of crap. I have heard about this horrendous situation from both you and Kim, but I still haven't heard anything from the cheater himself on what his reason for agreeing to do this was. Hell, I don't even get an apology from him yet.
You thought you'd get some kind of an apology? Stop making me laugh. John has no need to apologize to you. If anything, the one that needs to be apologizing is you. You should tell him you are sorry for being such a useless wife. But even begging for forgiveness from him wouldn't be enough, I feel.
How can you even think this way?
Do you truly know who has been the one wasting all of his precious time after taking the spot as his wife? It was you. And your biggest fault had to have been not getting anything accomplished as his wife. You never got around to having even one child. And even then, you don't work to make any money for the family. Just after you got married, you left your job and started relying completely on all of his hard-earned money. But even then, calling yourself a housewife is utterly hilarious.
John was the one who asked me in the first place if it'd be fine for me to leave my job and stay at his house full-time after we married. So I did exactly as he had asked. I left my job at the law firm and turned into a housewife just to please him. It took a lot of effort from me to have to leave such a nice career. And then having to move into his house, having to show hospitality to all of his relatives, and having to prepare all sorts of meals for him. I did all of that without making any sort of remarks about it.
All of that is part of what makes a wife a housewife. What makes you think that you are too good to be dealing with all of this housewife stuff?
I'm not saying that I should be treated differently. I'm just trying to help you understand what my position as a wife looks like. What I had to give up in order to become a good wife for him. But you guys are trying to twist the truth and use it as a way to make everything look as though it is my fault. Honestly, now I really regret giving up my life just to make his life perfect.
Oh, get over it. If I pay you $1,000, will that be good enough for you?
Good enough for me to do what exactly?
I'm paying you to leave us alone and stop asking any more questions.
You're going to try and bribe me?
If I give you $1,000, will that be enough to get you to stay away from John? Of course, that includes me as well.
$1,000?
In reality, having to pay you that much to get out of our lives is such a waste. But I don't want to deal with you any longer. Especially with the way you are acting. With that kind of money, you should also be able to move into a new place right away.
Ah, I get it now. There isn't really any other choice that I have besides divorcing him and staying away, is there? I guess this is where it ends then. I'll start preparing to sign the papers and pack my things to leave. And thanks for the offer, but I won't be needing the $1,000 either.
Oh, really? You finally came around to accepting everything I have told you. Just make sure not to cause us any more trouble while you leave, okay? Please be a good sport about everything going on.
I have to start gathering all of my things now. So it's time to say goodbye. Thanks for taking care of me until now. Hey, Jenny! It's been a while, hasn't it? It's John's new young and beautiful wife, Kim. You remember me, don't you?
What do you want from me now?
Nothing really. I was just wondering if his ex-wife was doing okay. I had just spoken with John this morning about you, so I thought I would try contacting you to see how you've been.
Thanks for going out of your way to check on me. But I don't really care about your interest in what is going on with me.
Wow! Are you really doing okay then? Even though you were cast out by your ex-husband? And after you were backstabbed by John's mom?
Well, after we had divorced, I was trying to think of what I should do next. But then I decided to start looking for a new job somewhere. and was successful in finding a pretty decent company. But anyhow, I don't really care about anything else you have to say. So far, my new life has just left me running around since I am so busy. But it looks like things will settle down here pretty soon, and I can get back to enjoying my own life. Sorry about causing your life to become so troublesome like that. If your goal was only to check and see if I was okay, are you satisfied now? I have to get going to work before it gets too busy on the roads.
Just wait a moment. I actually wanted to message you to tell you something very, very important.
What do you need to tell me? I don't think there should be any reason for you to be messaging me in the first place, though, since there's no need to be concerned with each other anymore, but...
Well, actually, for a little bit now. John and I have been wanting to build a new house.
You guys want to build a new house?
We are looking to make our dream house. After all, doctors have a lot of money to spend. We ended up looking at making a huge mansion in a beautiful neighborhood that has a large yard attached to it.
You're seriously looking to build a mansion?
At the moment, our current place's contract will be ending, so we want to move out to a much nicer property. And of course, don't you think that living in the place where your husband's ex lived would be pretty depressing? John said that if I were to give him $30,000 to put in as a down payment, we would be able to build a luxurious mansion worth $800,000.
$30,000 as a down payment for an $800,000 home? Are you going to ask for a loan or something?
Are you serious? You know who my husband is, right? He's a super wealthy doctor at a famous hospital. He'll be able to afford it all in one easy payment.
But you're not going to ask for any loans? You'll just go ahead and pay $30,000 in one go. I thought you were only working part-time at a cafe.
I have been saving up quite a bit of money as well. Just for a moment like this. And he is saying that they will follow all of our requests when building our new wolf nest. Paying $30,000 for a brand new place that's worth $800,000 is insanely lucky for an amazingly gorgeous wife like me, right? This is really unfortunate for you, though. I only just got married, and I'll already be able to live in a massive mansion without the need to pay rent. While you, the discarded ex-wife, still have to live as a renter in a small apartment. Ha! John is really willing to spend money on me without even a second thought. He will even go as far as paying close to $1 million for a whole new gorgeous mansion just to make me happy.
So you're saying he can afford to get a full mansion constructed for you both, even though he doesn't have a job?
Huh? What did you just say? What do you mean he's unemployed?
You're messing with me, right?
He's a doctor.
What are you talking about? He had his medical license taken away a while back. You didn't know?
What do you mean?
Recently, he had a lawsuit brought against him by a patient he had seen, and there should be a verdict given pretty soon here. Have you not heard anything about this at all?
Wait. What? How and when did this all come up?
It looks like you know absolutely nothing about what's going on at the moment, huh?
Please explain what is going on with him right now.
It's real simple, actually. He ended up making a false diagnosis with one of his patients. As a result, the patient underwent unnecessary surgery. So they decided to sue him, and now he is in the process of fighting it.
He made a mistake with one of his patients?
He has done things like this many times before. But this time, the hospital had decided not to cover for his malpractice mistakes anymore. Therefore, he was quickly let go by the hospital, and then was left to deal with the lawsuit on his own. And from what I can tell, the case seems to only be against him, and has nothing to do with the hospital.
Wait, then this all means he really is jobless?
Every year, it seemed as though he was only making more and more errors when diagnosing his patients. But he never bothered to realize all of the trouble he was causing. So it finally came down to him losing his medical license. Losing it was all decided even before this lawsuit was made against him. But I think this case has been happening for around a half a year now.
So this lawsuit has been going on this whole time I was with him and he never told me? For 6 months?
Well, yes, but actually, him being fired by the hospital happened a year ago or so.
This can't be true, though.
These types of lawsuits that are linked to malpractice take a bit of time to be resolved. Since it takes a lot of consideration from many different perspectives and unrelated doctors. Well, lawsuits that are completed in a matter of days are pretty unheard of, though.
So John has been unemployed for over a year and hasn't said a word to me about it?
That's why after our wedding, he spent half a year trying his best to save some money. Since he has a lot of pride in himself and didn't want to become poor from something like this happening. Do you know the reason why he never let me find a job?
It's because he was making a large amount of money, so it wasn't necessary to work, right?
Actually, he was just concerned it would look bad if a doctor's wife was working. He wanted to look like he was a good provider. He was only really worried about his vanity. But that's the reason why I wasn't allowed to continue working once we married. I said I would work a part-time job at least if things were tight, but he replied by saying that he would rather dig into our savings than let me do that.
Then, while we have been going on dates and vacations together for the past 6 months, he was actually spending all the money that he had left in his savings?
That'll happen when you are jobless and have the urge to make yourself look good.
That's idiotic. If he ends up losing the current lawsuit against him, what will happen to him?
Well, even if he is able to settle out of court, it won't matter as he'll still be paying a large amount of money.
There's no way we'll be able to afford a new house then.
But didn't that $800,000 house require a deposit of $30,000? It'll be nice if you can get that money back from him.
Wait, so he could be lying about buying that house?
If he has the money to be able to afford paying for the mansion in one go, do you think there would be a need for you to pay the deposit? Why on earth would there be a need to pay a deposit at that point?
Crap. Was he taking advantage of me?
That is all between you and him. It has nothing to do with me. And honestly, I'm not really interested in what will happen. But because of his situation, he wasn't even able to pay me the alimony the court assigned. As his wife, I expect you to help him pay it.
Wait, what? Why do I have to pay you?
Well, you were the one who had the affair with him. You caused the divorce. I'm owed money. Your husband is in debt. And as his current partner, you're obligated to help him pay it.
But wait, I don't have that kind of money. I already accidentally gave him all of my money for the new mansion's deposit fee. I've got it. Can you please give me a little time? If you give me the chance to have our child, I'll be able to get the $80,000 from his mom like she promised me.
I don't think you'll have a chance to get that money because it doesn't look like John can conceive a child, right?
What? He can't conceive a kid? Like, he's infertile?
At one point, we thought it's taking too long to get pregnant, so we went to the hospital to get some tests done. At the time, I didn't seem to have any issues, but John was told that it would be difficult for him to conceive naturally. That's what the doctor told us. Of course, it would have been alright had he gotten some kind of infertility treatment, but because he was getting older, the chance of having a child while getting treated was dropping. So by this point, he is at the age where there is really no point in trying for a child.
He didn't choose to get the treatment?
I told you already. He has a lot of pride in himself. He told me that if he went to a different hospital as a doctor to receive the treatment, there was no telling what kind of rumors would start to spread. He probably made his parents very upset by not doing anything, but he said that he wanted to try conceiving a child without the treatment. And ever since then, he still hasn't bothered to do anything about it.
What about my $80,000? I'm counting on that money.
Well, I'm sure someone making the promise of giving that kind of money to anyone who can give them a grandchild is probably happy that a child couldn't be made in the end.
Nothing is going to plan anymore.
Anyways, that will be it from me. From now on, I'm going to leave all of the decision-making to my lawyer, okay?
Wait. Please wait a little longer. I'm the victim in all of this. I wasn't told anything about what was happening with John. Please get your alimony from John, okay? I didn't do anything to deserve any of this. Are you listening to me, Jenny?
You need to do something about all this, please. Your lawyer is pressuring John to pay that ridiculous alimony you're asking for. But he doesn't have that kind of money, so he is asking for us to help him pay it by selling our house. Hey, I am only using common sense here and claiming what is legally mine. The only other part to the amount of the money that was asked for is the amount going to my lawyer and the courthouse. You're lying. You're just spiting him because you're mad at him for cheating on you. Get over it. There would be no need for a doctor like John to have to give up his parents' house if the asked amount was actually fair. First of all, John had his medical license revoked, so he's not a doctor. And second of all, the amount of money asked for happens to coincide with the amount of money he had to pay for the malpractice he caused. What? He lost his license! What are you talking about? Dang, his pride must be larger than Mount Everest. He didn't even bother telling his own mother about it. Here we go again. About a year ago, he started fighting a lawsuit that was brought against him for making a false diagnosis with one of his patients. And even before this started, he was already having a major problem with malpractice allegations being made against him in the hospital. As a doctor, he never had any sense of being responsible for any of his patients, and I honestly don't think he was ever properly prepared to be a doctor at all. But he is the smartest, most talented kid in our family! Have you forgotten about how the two of us met? I was working at a law firm as a paralegal when we started getting information about the malpractice lawsuits that he was involved in. I ended up meeting him during one of the meetings pertaining to all of the cases, and that's where things between us all started. But those lawsuits were all taken care of by the hospital. Right. However, during the most recent case, the hospital said that they would no longer protect him. But that would mean John is no longer a doctor? That's exactly right. Also, I decided to return to my old workplace to continue my career as a paralegal. I had a little time to look over some of the costs for the most recent case, and at what the victim was asking for. To me, it looked really bad for him. My pride and joy of a son. That's right. I'm also looking into how I can sue you for your crazy plan to pay that mistress to have a baby. My colleagues are having a field day trying to make a precedent case for soliciting or trafficking or something like that. What the hell? You're crazy! I don't owe you anything! Come on! You were the one that set up and allowed for John to have an affair! Bribing some random woman into having her son's baby? The media is going to love that. I was only acting in my son's best interest. I'm a good mother! The whole reason we never were able to have a child was because of your son. He was infertile. But you were the one to lay all the blame on me, without taking any time to consider if it could be your own son that was the problem. No, you're lying. It can't be true. We even had an examination done to determine what was going on. At that time, we were told that he was the one who would have a hard time conceiving a child, not me. There is no way something as stupid as this happened. So I guess your crazy scheme was doomed from the beginning. You were never getting that grandchild you're obsessed about. Once I got over feeling betrayed, I realized this is a really interesting case for lawyers and the public. I'm getting the most out of this, so that's going to involve John, you, and Kim, of course. I'm even considering writing a book. Doesn't that sound cool? Wait a sec. Right now, it looks like we will lose our house to have enough money to pay for John's alimony. But to add to that, you're suing me for crazy charges. Whatever the outcome, I won't be able to show my face in town. And money? I already lost my house. Jenny, I'm begging you to please leave me out of this. Please rethink what you are going to do to us. I really, really apologize for everything. Please. I suppose working at a law firm does have its advantages, because 3 of the best lawyers took on the case free of charge. Just for kicks, as they said. The case was the talk of the town for a while, but John and his mother asked to settle out of court. So I took my whopping $50,000 and ended it there. It's actually a part of my strategy to get the public's interest, since now my tell-all book will include juicy stories that were never mentioned in the court records. I realize I'm making money off my misfortune, but I don't feel bad for telling the truth and getting paid. It turns out John ended up using the $30,000 that he had collected from Kim as a supposed deposit by gambling it away on slot machines. He has more issues than I had thought. So he has lost all appearances of being a rich, successful doctor, and is now broke, in debt, and living in subsidized housing. Having given up her house for the alimony, Roberta had no choice but to move in. I heard Kim is pregnant, but who knows who the father is. Rumor has it she stays with John some days and at her customers on other days. I don't even want to know. Hopefully, somehow, they will pay their debts and start living a decent life. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Hey, Linda. Are you free right now? Hello, Nora. Yeah, I'm free to talk. What is it? Can you look after Katie later in the day? Like, today? I don't think so. I have other plans for today. Can you do something about it? I got called into work for an emergency. It's Saturday, so Katie's kindergarten is not an option either. What do you mean, work? You got a job? Isn't Reed on a long-term business trip right now? Right. About that, did I not tell you? One of my acquaintances opened a store, so I decided to lend her a hand by working there. It is much more flexible than the typical 9-to-5 office job. It's just that today, there is an in-person work matter that I must attend to. I see. But sorry. I would be happy to babysit Katie, but I have plans in the afternoon today. What time in the afternoon? Around 3. That's fine. I will be able to pick her up around that time. Don't you worry. Okay, but the problem is that I'm leaving the house 30 minutes before the scheduled time, though. So I think your plan wouldn't work out unless you'd be able to come over here before 2 in the afternoon. I mean, I told you that I can work with this schedule. Anyways, I'll pick her up at your house around 2:30 in the afternoon. Nora, I don't want to have to say this kind of thing to you, but do you not remember when you said the exact same words to me multiple times before but still showed up later than our agreed time? To tell you the truth, I'm supposed to see my old friends whom I haven't seen in a very long time. Plus, I'm the one in charge of organizing this old friends reunion, so I really want to get there early. But I already said that I will pick her up on time. Are you sure that you can't just work something out? You do realize that if you're not available today, Katie will have to stay at home by herself, right? I know, but there's really nothing I can do about it. I mean, is it possible to hire a last-minute babysitter or something like that? Sorry, but I don't think I have time for that. I mean, if you're really worried, then please look for a babysitter yourself. What do you mean, me? Well, yeah, since I already told you that I will pick Katie up at our agreed time. What's more, do you not want to see your own granddaughter? I even went out of my way to create this perfect opportunity for you to spend time with her. Do you not think that Katie is adorable? I mean, I would definitely babysit Katie if I can. But it's just that you leave me in a very difficult position when you suddenly tell me to look after her without any prior notice. It's not that I want to see things go this way either, but I'm left with no choice. I also have work which I need to attend to. Plus, Reed is not here to help either. Though at the same time, isn't this what family is for? To always be there for each other in times of need, like right now. I mean, if you could have just asked me in advance, of course I would make time and do my best to babysit Katie. But this time, you are really putting me in a difficult position if you can't come up with another solution for this situation. Look, I promise you that I will pick her up without being late today. Please. I don't have anyone else but you to ask for this kind of favor. Well then, I really don't know what to say anymore. So, are you sure 100% that you can make it before 2:30 in the afternoon? Yes, I am 100% sure that I will be there on time. I promise you. Okay, fine. I'll look after Katie today then. But again, whatever happens, you have to make sure to be here on time to pick Katie up. Yeah, I know. So I'll be at your place with Katie in about 15 minutes. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate your understanding and cooperation.
Mom, I heard from Nora that you got mad at her yesterday. Is that true? What happened? She said that she was very shocked.
What do you mean? I just told her to be more careful. I wasn't mad at her. The thing is that I actually had other plans myself that day, but she suddenly told me that she needed me to babysit Katie. Not only that, she even showed up an hour later than our agreed time.
Okay, but since she has to go to work, there's no other way she could have worked it out.
I mean, this is my first time ever hearing about the fact that she has a new job now.
Yeah, about that. I'm sorry for not telling you about her new job. You know, I heard that during the day when Katie is at kindergarten, everything is pretty much fine. Anyways, Mom, you know that I really have absolutely no intention of causing you any inconvenience whatsoever. Nora told me that she just happened to be called in for work yesterday. Can't you maybe cut her some slack?
Reed, I know that you are on a long-term business trip, so I definitely have the intention of helping her with whatever I can, such as looking after Katie. But it's just that you leave me in a very difficult position when you suddenly tell me to look after her without any prior notice. Of course, I understand that there might be challenging times with not a lot of options left, and so compromising is necessary, but Nora didn't give me any notice for being late either. With that being said, did it ever occur to you that I might be stranded in a predicament because of that?
Now that you're telling me all this, I think it's Nora's bad for not being on time. Listen, I'm really sorry for discommoding you so much. But my business trip will be over in about a month, which means I'll be back home soon. So do you think that it's possible to lend Nora a hand whenever and with whatever you can just until I'm back home? You know that her parents live far away from us.
I know, but make sure to tell her then to give me prior notice from now on when she needs me for something such as babysitting Katie. I mean, it's not that I don't adore Katie a lot, and I'm happy to spend some time with her.
Yeah, okay. I know what you're trying to say. I will tell her to let you know beforehand when she needs you to look after Katie.
All right, I'm counting on you. By the way, there's something I want to let you know about Katie. She looked kind of down when I was with her last time. Do you know if there's anything that happened to her, maybe?
Nora's back working again, so maybe she's just a little bit lonely now that Mommy is not with her all the time anymore.
Oh, is that so? But I mean, doesn't Nora go to work when Katie's at kindergarten, though?
Maybe alright, but look, Katie's just a child, and children can be very sensitive to even minor changes in their daily life.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's just that I don't know if she has the jitters or is frightened, but there seems to be something that's on her mind all the time.
Do you think that perhaps it's because she just feels a little surprised to find out that Grandma will be looking after her for the entire day without any prior notice from Nora?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, she looked like she had a lot more energy when I babysat her before.
Well, Mom, isn't it because she's kind of intimidated by you because you got mad at Nora?
That's rude. Obviously, I won't be like this to Nora in front of her daughter.
Okay, fine. Jeez. Anyways, I'm going to FaceTime Katie right now. Let me ask her if anything happened when she was at kindergarten.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Please do that. Also, don't forget to do your best at work over there. And be sure to take care of your health since you live alone right now.
Hey, Linda. I need someone to babysit Katie tomorrow for the whole day. So I was just wondering if you are available for that by any chance?
No problem. I'm free tomorrow for the entire day. What time tomorrow do you plan to come with her then?
I would really appreciate it if it's alright to drop her off at 10 in the morning tomorrow. I plan to pick her up no later than the evening.
Alright, that works for me. By the way, I've been wanting to tell you this for some time now, but I don't have any toys for Katie to play with when she's here at my house. So I would really appreciate it if it's possible for you to have some in place for her. With that being said, would you mind bringing some toys with you when you drop Katie off tomorrow at my place?
Oh, yeah, about that. It actually would make her more mature to just watch YouTube videos. So please let her watch some videos on YouTube while she's there at your house.
Okay, but wouldn't she just get tired at some point of just watching YouTube videos for the entire day until you come back from work?
No, I think she should be fine with it. I mean, kids nowadays love to watch YouTube videos. There are also tons of videos created and uploaded for children specifically.
I remember learning it from somewhere, but I heard that letting your kid watch YouTube videos all the time is in fact not good for their well-being. Are you aware of this? I mean, when you're doing house chores or something like that, letting your kid watch YouTube videos definitely helps a lot. Don't get me wrong. I think that these YouTube videos can be helpful, but it's just that…
Okay, fine. I know what you're trying to get at. I'll make sure to put some stuffed toys and dolls in Katie's bag so she can play with them at your house. But can you please stop telling me how to parent my own child? I'm doing the best I can right now to be a good mother to Katie.
Oh, no. I think you're misunderstanding what I'm trying to say.
Linda, you do realize that your mindset can be a little too traditional, right? I mean, look at all the parents who are around us nowadays. They all just let their kids watch YouTube videos in order to calm them down or make them quiet.
I'm not saying that YouTube videos are harmful to children. As your mother-in-law, I really do think that YouTube videos are very helpful at times. It's just that I think it would be better to limit the time during which Katie is allowed to watch these videos every day.
That's exactly why I think that you need to keep up with the pace of today's modern society. What I am trying to say is, I do not wish to have my parenting style judged.
I'm sorry if I offended you.
Also, Katie comes home a little spoiled every time she's being looked after by you and you guys spend time together. She would always be fine with just playing by herself at home, but then ever since you began to look after her while I was gone, she would come home super clingy after. And this is when I just thought that maybe she's finally capable of entertaining herself. With that being said, I think the reason why is because you're giving her way too much unnecessary attention and making such a big deal out of everything she does. When in reality, all you have to do is the bare minimum, like making sure that she doesn't get injured physically.
I see.
The truth is, I want to see Katie turn into an independent child who can stand on her own feet. So I would appreciate it if you could please refrain yourself from doing things that are only unnecessary.
Fine. I'll take your advice into account. However, in my opinion, spending quality time with children and playing with them can never be a bad thing, too.
I've told you multiple times that parenting techniques and methods in today's society are drastically different from those of the past. So please stop getting brainwashed by information that comes from uncredible sources. Instead, I suggest you to inform yourself on these kinds of topics with updated and modern data. Because after all, it is my very own daughter whom you'll be babysitting every time.
I'm sorry. I'll make sure to update myself on the child-rearing styles and approaches favored by parents nowadays.
Okay, thank you for your cooperation and understanding. Just one more thing though. I prefer to have Katie take a bath at home no matter how late it is at night. So please stop letting her take a bath at your house. The reason why I say this is because there are specific body lotion and shampoo that must be used on her because she has very sensitive skin.
Okay, I see. In that case, please prepare me some of her clothes that she could change into next time if you need me to look after her for the entire day. Because sometimes her clothes can get pretty messy and dirty when she's staying here.
Well then, can you please make sure that her clothes don't get that messy and dirty when you babysit her next time? Because if you can't even keep a child from getting her clothes dirtied, then I can't help but think that you don't have what it takes to be a mother. After all, at least you have parenting experience. So I hope that there wouldn't be too much need for me to worry about you not being able to prevent these kinds of trivial accidents from happening, right?
Okay, I'll make sure to take more care to keep her clean. I'll do everything exactly the way you tell me to then.
Mom, Nora just told me all about it. What exactly happened there?
Yeah, listen, Reed. I was just about to text you too. Actually, I have something to let you know.
Something that you have to let me know. Before we talk about that, you first have to know that you can't just go out with Katie like that without a valid reason. I heard that you won't be taking her back either. Is this true?
I didn't just leave the house with her without a valid reason, though.
But still, you didn't let Nora know and get her permission beforehand, right? Mom, it's not okay to take your granddaughter outside just because you think that she's adorable and are fond of her. If you keep on doing this kind of thing, I'm going to have to call the police on you. Nora and I are on the same page on this.
If you're talking about the police, I have already called them. Actually, we are at the Children's Welfare Center right now.
What do you mean?
It seems like Nora has been laying her hands on Katie quite often. You know that earlier today, Katie finally opened up to me and got the courage to speak the truth.
What are you talking about? I don't think it's as serious as you're claiming it to be. Like Nora laying her hands on Katie. Are you sure that it's not just a light spank or something? I mean, you used to spank me all the time before when I was little, Mom. What were you even thinking when you called the police?
What you just said about me spanking you might be true to a certain extent. But what I'm saying here is that the way Nora's treating Katie right now can't even be compared to how I treated you when you were a kid.
Are you saying Nora abused Katie? There's absolutely no way Nora would do that.
I get how you don't want to believe it, but it's the truth. Katie has bruises all over her little body. And these aren't bruises you would get from an accident or a light spank, as you say.
Wait, what? Are you really being serious right now?
How in the world do you think that I will choose to lie about this sort of thing? Guess what? I found out about something unbelievable while babysitting Katie recently. Whenever I move my hand, Katie would give a short shriek and flinch in fear. I couldn't figure out what was making her react like this, but then I remembered watching something about abused children on TV. I checked her body, and that's how I found the bruises.
Oh my God. I can't believe that out of all the things that could happen, Nora would lay her hands on Katie.
I mean, I didn't believe it. Or should I say, I didn't want to believe it at first, too. But when I asked Katie where the bruises and scars came from, she looked at me so helplessly. She told me that she tripped and fell on the stairs. The poor child!
Are you sure that she didn't get the scar from tripping and falling on the stairs, though?
That's what I thought at first, too. Like, oh, maybe that really is how she got the scar. But then I noticed how she was behaving very strangely. I know that I'm not supposed to make a fuss about it without any valid proof or evidence. I had to know for sure. So I'm sorry, but I hired someone from a detective agency to do some investigations on Nora these past few days.
And so what did you come to find out?
Only horrible things. The truth is, Katie only gets a light spank from Nora only when there's a lot of people around them in public. It seems that the poor girl also gets pinched in the stomach very hardly all the time when there are no eyes looking at them. I mean, I'm not surprised because you wouldn't know what Nora does to her at home when nobody's watching. What's more, Katie's been telling me how Mommy gets mad when she drinks her juice and that she doesn't want to go home.
Wow. I can't believe that she's been doing all these terrible things to Katie while I'm gone. I guess the fact that me being on a long-term business trip right now makes the house feel too empty and cold. It sounds like she's drinking again. Or how Katie is left completely to the care of her mom and Nora is just overwhelmed and stressed out.
Still, that doesn't give her the right to mistreat her daughter like this.
Yeah, that's true. I totally agree with you. Anyways, I'll be heading back home right now immediately. Mom, I just want to say, thank you for taking notice of Katie's unusual behavioral change. Of course. After all, I just did what I'm supposed to. By the way, Reed, there's one more thing that I must let you know. And I want you to listen to what I have to say next without getting all riled up.
Linda, you're seriously the worst person I've ever seen. Do you really want to turn me into a criminal offender like this? Reed and the Child Welfare Center literally just got in touch with me.
What in the world are you talking about? Just know that what you have done is certainly not something that could be forgiven under any circumstances whatsoever.
Don't forget that I am the one who practically raised Katie on my own while Reed is on his business trip all this while. So it's obviously understandable to get a little physical with my child and give her some spankings when they're called for. I can't believe that the police and child welfare center should want to contact me when in reality, this is all there is to it. Do you even understand what it feels like, as a mother, to have her very own child forcibly taken away from her?
The police and child welfare center got in touch with you because you're doing things way beyond the limit. With that being said, I don't think there's anything wrong that has been done to you.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. You're overprotective. I discipline my daughter the way I see fit. Aren't you deciding for yourself, though, without any valid proof or evidence, that I'm doing terrible things to Katie? You don't even have the slightest idea of how much time it will take to get those people to give Katie's custody back to me.
You don't have to worry about that anymore. Katie will no longer be coming back and living with you.
What do you even mean by that?
I mean that my son, Reed, will be filing for a divorce against you.
Do you know what you're saying?
Yes, I do. Not only do I hear the words that I'm speaking to you right now, I also just want to let you know something as well, because you seem to not be aware of it yet. But actually, the fact that you've been having an affair with another man all this time has also been made clear.
I have absolutely no idea of what you're trying to get at right now. After all, it's not like I have the energy to cheat on Reed with someone else.
Well, don't you just lie about going to work and hang out with this man all day? And if I have to break this down further, I made the decision to carry out some investigations about you.
You are such a lowlife. You actually hired a detective? Are you insane? Did you seriously do all that behind my back? Well, guess what? I am for sure going to sue you for invasion of privacy.
Sounds good to me. Go ahead then and sue me. Because as long as Katie won't be under your influence anymore, what becomes of me doesn't matter that much. I've already made up my mind and thought about the consequences that could ensue before hiring someone from a detective agency to investigate you. But you know what? I didn't do anything illegal. On the contrary, I think it'll be you who's gonna get sued. Does Reed know all about it too? Yes, I told him everything he needs to know. I mean, he's busy with work and trying his best to provide for Katie. After all, he is the only parent that she has from now on.
Please tell Reed that this is all a misunderstanding.
But you do realize that none of this is part of a misunderstanding, right?
That's not true. I only hooked up with that guy because he threatened me. It's not like I wanted things to go this way. I am also a victim.
If that's true, you should file a police report, then file a lawsuit against that other man. But you two looked very cozy in these pictures. It certainly doesn't look like you're not enjoying yourself. Anyways, whatever you want to say, just know that your marriage infidelity is not the same thing as abusing Katie. I mean, the most important thing at hand is whether you really have been hurting Katie or not all this time as her mother.
I mean, Katie is just a child. Won't you feel sorry for a little girl who won't be able to see her own mother anymore? Don't you think that she might still need me to a certain extent?
Do you really think that a child needs a parent who physically abuses him or her? It breaks my heart to see how she flinches in fear with just the move of a finger. And that is because she is so used to getting physically punished by you in her daily life. All in all, I don't believe that Katie will grow to be an adult with a healthy body and mind when she's being raised by such a violent and heartless mother. Didn't you pinch and spank her so much that she has bruises on her body? I just can't seem to fathom for the sake of my life how can a mother treat her own child like you do, Katie?
Well, that's because she never listens to what I tell her to do. She just does whatever she wants and acts like a brat. So it's not like she never puts me in a difficult situation too. Shouldn't you be able to at least sympathize with me since you also raised Reed? You know how hard and stressful parenting is, right?
I totally understand the challenges and pressure a parent can be faced with. If I have to be honest with you, I think I know more than anyone else those times when you feel like the anger that's piled up in you is about to explode all at once. But there is a fundamental difference between just having some impulsive thoughts and actually putting them to action on your own child.
It's all Reed's fault for being away so long on his stupid business trip of his. With him never home, he literally leaves me with no choice but to solo parent Katie all the time.
Fine. I won't say what you just told me are all lies. But that should never in a million years be your excuse to mistreat your own daughter. What I don't understand is, didn't I help you many times to take care of Katie before you began to abuse her? You would always tell me to babysit her without any prior notice and basically just did whatever you want. What I just said right there. You won't tell me that none of it is true, right?
Don't just decide for yourself that I am a person with no pride. There's no way that I could leave Katie to your care multiple times a week.
Well, I don't think that's the actual reason behind it. You don't want me to babysit Katie too frequently because Reed would find out about you cheating on him with another man. Am I right? You were also afraid that I would tell Reed about your unusual behavior. Right.
No, that's not at all what I was trying to say.
Yeah, right. You never thought about doing anything that I just said. But no matter what you did cannot be pardoned under any circumstances.
Okay, but are you sure that you want to take things this far? Because if you're going to make a fuss about all this, Katie's life and future could greatly suffer. Plus, Reed and I were planning to buy a house after he comes back from his business trip. We were supposed to live happily as a family. So are you seriously going to destroy a family like this? You're a monster.
It's your fault that your family has fallen apart. Take a good long look in the mirror. The fact that you not only cheated on your husband, but also physically abused your child is the cause behind all this. Anyways, the most important thing to me right now is to do my best and help Reed with raising Katie. So please, stop texting me from now on and straighten out any matters that you need to straighten out directly with Reed.
Please, wait a moment. In all honesty, I am actually having a very hard time right now. I don't know what's wrong with me. Trust me, I was just exhausted from taking care of Katie by myself. I guess I'm trying to blow off steam by drinking and, well, that's the only reason I cheated on Reed with someone else.
That's new to me because those weren't your words earlier. No matter what kind of backstory or excuse you had, you did something that should have never been done. Let me put it this way. What would you feel or react like if you were Katie? Would you really believe that your own mother had no choice but to take all her stress from being a mother out on you and cheat on your father because of that too?
I mean, Katie is still a small child after all. She's not gonna remember any of this. She'll be fine.
Oh my God. You've really proven yourself to be an irresponsible person to the last moment. I'm seriously dumbfounded after hearing all the things that you just said. Tell you what, you lack the most crucial quality a mother needs to have when raising her child, and that is love. Now, I guess the person who doesn't have what it takes to be a mother is you. After this roller coaster of events, my son Reed divorced Nora, although it took a very long time for the case to get finalized. What's more, luckily, he was able to get custody of Katie. At first, Reed felt very guilty towards Katie because he wasn't there for her and regretted the fact that he chose his busy work schedule over the well-being of his own daughter. Because he felt guilty, Reed was unsure about suing for child support, but he changed his mind soon after. It turns out that Nora and that man were together and began their relationship long before Reed even went on his business trip. This led to Reed hiring lawyers and taking Nora on with a vengeance. As for Nora, Of course, she didn't succeed in terms of asking for property division in her favor and Katie's custody. After losing everything that she once had, Nora had no choice but to return to her parents' house and live with them. However, even her own parents could not forgive her for the horrible way she had treated their granddaughter. Consequently, I heard that she got kicked out of their house shortly after. Although I don't know where she is right now, I'm just thankful for the fact that she's not coming anywhere near Katie. After all, the last thing in the world I want right now is to see Katie and Reed get hurt for a second time. Fortunately, my grandchild Katie is starting to regain the vigor and cheerfulness that she used to have now that Nora is no longer to be seen. I'm not sure if it's PTSD or trauma, but she was very clingy to my son Reed, her father, for a short period of time. Nevertheless, by observing her behavior at kindergarten, she is starting to make friends and socialize with the other kids there again. From what I can see, it might be a sign that her mental scar is beginning to heal. That is not to say that Katie will just forget about everything that Nora did to her, but Reed and I will try our best to make sure that even if this is the case, she knows that we will always be there for her, and that she will always be loved by her grandmother and father. I wish with all my heart that Katie can have a happy and fulfilled life from now on. To make that happen, my son and I will do everything we can to leave her with only positive memories to remember.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you'll know when a new video comes out. Don't forget to also leave a comment below, and I'll see you next time.